December 30th, 1996, History of the Prophet Joseph Smith, 5th to 8th grade class. I desire Heavenly Father's Spirit to be with us, and I trust you're here to learn. We're continuing the training of how to live in Zion. We left off with the ending of 1832, where the Lord had placed the saints under condemnation. And they came to a point where the Lord would have to say to them, if you desire more revelations, you must obey what I have already given. One of the next revelations the Lord gave through the prophet Joseph is what we call the word of wisdom in section 89. And I'd like to dwell a little upon this and plant some ideas in your minds, you young people, because I'm talking to many young people that today your taste buds are your boss. As far as what you eat, your taste buds rule. And you don't consider the importance of your bodies and of your job in the future. You're all smart enough to know that to stay here in this life, on this earth, you have to have a body. And you will be most helpful to the Lord if your body is healthy, has energy and strength, and you're able to do the work when you're told to do it. And it's for sure, if you're always calling in sick, you won't be useful. You want your body to be healthy and strong. Right now you sure like your body to be strong on park days or game days. If I say let's go to the park, even with a little cough you want to go. Health is very important to you, even in your thinking. And it's such that you stay away from school even with a little bellyache or a little cough sometimes, lest you become more sick. So all of us we recognize our body's needs very quickly. But there's some things that people are blind to understand. Uncle Roy and also President Barlow asked us the question, why were the people in Adam's day able to live hundreds of years, whereas today they hardly live 100 years? You look at people 50, 60 years old, they look old. Brigham Young says, the way it should be is this. A man 100 years old should only look 30 or 40. A man 150 years old should only look 50. If our bodies were healthy, if we treated them right and ate the right things, and above all, if we kept the Spirit of God with us, then our bodies would stay younger for a longer period of time. Now what's the importance of this today? The prophet saw that in our time, children that were born would live to the age of a tree. A tree lives hundreds of years. So there will be a people who will learn wisdom in how to take care of their bodies, and keeping sweet and taking care of their bodies, where they won't eat things that hurt the body. And that is what the word of wisdom is. I'd like to give you the definition of wisdom now. What does that word wisdom mean? I'm sure some of you would say, oh, it means to be smart. I suppose that's true. But here's the real meaning of wisdom. Wisdom is to be led by the revelations of the Spirit of God. Be led by the revelations of the Spirit of God. The basic summary of the word of wisdom is another word we use. As far as taking care of our bodies, we are to use moderation in all things. The summary of the word of wisdom, as far as our bodies are concerned, is to use moderation, M-O-D-E-R-A-T-I-O-N. That means don't eat too much of one thing and leave other things out of what you eat. Be wise in what you eat. And if you find out something hurts your body, don't eat it. Or just eat the proper amounts for the proper good. I suppose in your lunch today, many of you, it's filled with the processed sugar. Some of you drink soda pop, and maybe some of you drink it regularly. The parents, many drink coffee, many drink tea, hot drinks they're called. I suppose many of you feel like if you don't have beef in your meal, you don't feel like it's a real supper or dinner. If you looked at your diets, many of you would find you're eating a lot of grease. Maybe you go to McDonald's or Wendy's or somewhere, you just love how it tastes. And you grow up with certain tastes. But how many of you have sought wisdom or inspiration even in what you eat? It used to be in times gone by where we ate what we were able to get hold of. But in this day and time, many young people refuse to eat the vegetables. They'll just eat the cake and sugar and the thickest frosting. They won't eat the juice or good-for-you drinks. They'll take the phony drinks with the processed sugar in it and so forth. And literally what you're doing is you're telling the Lord you don't want your life extended. Or you want Him to do it all. Just extend your life and you won't do your part. But the Lord has said, if you'll follow this word of wisdom, He will extend your life. Your body will be healthy and strong. And not only that, you'll bring forth children with strong and healthy bodies. It's very well known that if a mother is unhealthy, she can bring that unhealthiness into her children when she bears that child. And so right now, you girls, the reality is how you eat and drink and live, especially the spirit you keep, you're determining the health and strength of your future children. But we're kind of selfish. We just think of our taste buds right now. That's why I'm teaching you this today. Many people said, well, this is not a commandment. The Lord right in the Revelation says, this is not by way of commandment, but it is counsel and it is wisdom. Then I read a sermon of John Y. Barlow in your number 3 student star. President Barlow said this, I especially remember one man teaching the word of wisdom. He said the word of wisdom did not only mean tea or coffee. We take into our bodies the poisons, the things that poison it, that stop the growth, that drives the Spirit of God from us. Heavenly Father's Spirit might whisper to you wisdom, to not eat a certain thing or too much of something, or wisdom, to eat certain things that are good for your body so you'll be useful to the prophet. You drive away the Spirit of God when you don't listen. And many times we become unhealthy by not listening to the Spirit of peace. Now the most important thing, whether you're healthy or strong, healthy or weak, the most important thing is keep the Spirit of God. The Lord allows sickness to come upon us to see what we will do. But we should always work for our health. Uncle John Y. Barlow said, we justify ourselves sometimes because some of the other prophets use these things. I would like everyone, if you could, to read the sermon that Patriarch Hiram Smith taught on the word of wisdom. It is the greatest thing we have ever seen. He told us there that the Lord has given that. People say, why, that is not a revelation, it is counsel or just suggestions. Anyway, here's what Brother Barlow thought of this revelation. If God gives you counsel in things, they will save you and bring you back where we once were, where we can live to the age of a tree, by keeping laws and commandments. It would not make much difference to me whether it was revelation or counsel. We often hear it said that if we live the fullness of the gospel, we will live every law that God has given in this last dispensation. For God has said every blessing is predicated or based upon a law. And when we get a blessing, it is by obedience to that law upon which it is predicated. I'm telling you, young people, we need inspiration even in what we eat, what's good for us and what is not. I remember in my young years, I felt like I just had to have that sugar, but I always got sick. I remember hearing the story of Uncle Roy. The word of wisdom is what he lived, and he was very sickly. He asked the Lord, take away from my appetite, my desires, those things that hurt my body, that I won't even want to eat them. And pretty quick, he went to eat certain things and he didn't feel like eating it. The Spirit of God answered his prayer, and he stopped eating those things that hurt his body. He was suffering so much before from the arthritis and other things, he could hardly move. And just by changing his diet and following the inspiration of heaven, taking care of his body right, he became healthy. And he lived to 98 years old. And there's an example for you and me. Let's read a little of this word of wisdom. Section 89. To tell you a little of how this revelation was sought after and how it came about. In the prophet's home, certain men met, and many men in that day chewed tobacco. They'd take a chaw and chew it, and over in the corner was a bucket, and they'd spit their tobacco and shoot for the bucket. And it would land on the floor and make a black, filthy mess. And Emma wondered about this. Is this right? The prophet Joseph asked the Lord about this, about the health and needs of the body. And this is what the Lord said. We almost make fun of this revelation by what we do, and I need to do better. People drink tea and coffee in order to stay awake. I've read through the journals, and Brigham Young said, maybe it helps you immediately, but it hurts your body. The best thing for your body is rest. Instead of taking these things that falsely keep your body going, that harm the body, just go rest. And instead of drinking the hot drinks, drink more water. Water is the best drink you can have. So I'll read a little of this just to make sure you young people see what the Lord has said. And I'm not making outright rules where thou shalt not eat a certain thing. You need wisdom. You need revelation to guide you in what your body needs. But here's what the Lord said. Inasmuch as any man drinketh wine or strong drink among you, behold, it is not good to drink liquor, neither meat in the sight of your Father, only in assembling yourselves together to offer up your sacraments before him. And behold, this should be wine Yea, pure wine of the grape of the vine of your own make. President Jeffs has wine once in a while, but it's wine of our own make. He obeys the Lord. Now understand, certain people's body needs certain things. The word of wisdom is moderation. If you have too much of something, it can harm your body. Brigham Young even said, what about the dinner table? There's a bunch of food sitting there on the table, and we load up our plates, and we eat and we eat and we eat until we almost feel sick. And he said, that's not wise. Eat until your body feels satisfied, and leave the rest alone, and you'll be healthier. As you fill your stomach up so much with something, it wearies your body and is unhealthy. Eat what you need. Don't overdo it. Even that is something we need to improve on. The Lord gives some more specifics. And again, tobacco, that's the chewing tobacco and the smoking, is not for the body. This is a thou shalt not. You will not smoke or chew tobacco. It's neither for the belly and is not good for man. The Lord didn't make it for us to eat or chew, but is an herb for bruises. You see? The Lord can reveal to us what all the plants and all the things He's created are for. He said they're for the use of man, but everything out there isn't to be eaten or put in our mouth. That's just for bruises. And it says, for all sick cattle. It's for the cows, not for people. To be used with judgment and skill. And again, hot drinks are not for the body or belly. You should let that hot drink cool. Not put a hot drink down in your stomach where it destroys those parts inside that help digestion and help your body. Not hot drinks. And again, verily I say unto you, all wholesome herbs God hath ordained for the constitution, nature, and use of man. Some herbs are for the outside of the body, some are for inside, to take internally. And the Lord said in section 42 that we already read, use mild herbs for the sick. Now what about meat? President Jeffs calls beef, goat, sheep, he calls these red meat. And that's what the Lord is particularly talking about, the red meats. Yea, flesh also of beasts and of the fowls of the air, I the Lord have ordained for the use of man with thanksgiving. Nevertheless, they are to be used sparingly. You don't have it every meal, all the time, every day. Sparingly, with wisdom. And young people, the rich men of today want to get rich, and they make their foods tasty but unhealthy. Much of the beef you buy in the store, the farmers out in the world use chemicals, even fertilizers, to feed their cattle. And it makes the beef not good for you, and you must be careful. I've heard many people say they sure feel better when they stop eating beef, only eating it once in a while instead of all the time. And you need inspiration in what you eat and how you take care of your body. It says, and it is pleasing unto me that they should not be used only in times of winter or of cold or famine. So what is the main food we're supposed to eat? All grain, like wheat, is ordained for the use of man and of beasts, to be the staff of life, the main thing that gives us life, or our food stuff. It's the grains. Not only for man, but for the beasts of the field, and the fowls of heaven, and all wild animals that run or creep on the earth. And these animals, hath God made for the use of man, only in times of famine and excess of hunger. the wild animals. All grain is good for the fruit of man, as also the fruit of the vine. Eat your fruits and vegetables. You'll be healthier. That which yieldeth fruit, whether in the ground or above the ground. Now listen. Nevertheless, wheat for man, corn for the ox, or the cattle, oats for the horse, rye for the fowls and for the swine, or pigs, and for all beasts of the field, and barley for all useful animals, and for mild drinks, as also other grain. So he doesn't give all the specifics, just some guidelines. Here's the promise. And all saints who remember to keep and do these things, walking in obedience to the commandments of God. Don't just eat right and drink the right things. Don't just avoid the bad stuff. But you must be obedient in all other commandments, loving one another, keeping sweet, paying your tithing, obeying your parents. If you obey and also be wise in how you take care of your body, you shall receive health in their navel and marrow to their bones, and shall find wisdom and great treasures of knowledge, even hidden treasures, and shall run and not be weary, and shall walk and not faint. And I, the Lord, give unto them a promise, that the destroying angels shall pass them by, as the children of Israel, and not slay them. Take care of our spirit and our body. Now some people, their whole religion is their body. They think if they're healthy, they'll have the good spirit. Then they forget their prayers and don't obey the prophet. No way. Our religion isn't our body. Our religion is to obey Heavenly Father, even in the taking care of our bodies also. But if there's a choice, obey the prophet, obey the Lord no matter what. Sometimes the Lord requires us to sacrifice our bodies to see if we love Him most. But our body is a gift. And you know, how you treat this gift is how you treat the giver. So I want to suggest to you young people, don't eat so much candy. Avoid the red meat as much as you can. Oh, your body uses it now. But you're becoming, right now you're eating what your body will be years from now. And you and your body will affect the generations after you. Here's what Brigham Young said. Many people drink the tea, the coffee to stay awake, to give them energy, so they can do more work and stay at the job longer hours. When things are set in order, the Lord will even guide us in what we eat and our work hours. Instead of doing 2 days' work in 1 day, wisdom would dictate to our sisters and to every other person that if they desire long life and good health, they must, after sufficient exertion, allow the body to rest before it is entirely exhausted. When exhausted, some argue they need stimulants like tea, coffee, liquor, tobacco, or some of these narcotic substances. But instead of using these things, we should recruit by rest, get our energy back by rest. He said some people argue with him, they've lived to 80, 85 years old. And they've drunk liquor or they've had tea and coffee. Some few persons who've been addicted to hot drinks have reached the age of 80, 83, 84 years. But had they not been addicted to such habits of living, they might have reached the age of 100 or 105 years old. He then counsels the people that your body and your mind must both be exercised. It's not just what you eat. It's running around and getting proper exercise. He says, people who just exercise their mind and not their body will become unhealthy. And then he says, those who just exercise their body but don't work their minds also become unhealthy and lazy. So be a complete saint. Consider your mind and body, and use wisdom, the Spirit of God, through prayer, in what you eat and how you take care of yourself. Because through you will come future generations. I'm not going to name all the things you shouldn't eat and all the things you should, except what the Lord did. Eat the fruits of the earth, which includes the vegetables. Don't avoid them. I can tell you how President Jeffs does it. He's certain to get his broccoli. That's one of the most healthy vegetables, and it's green. The green vegetables are good. He's certain to eat the green lettuce. He looks for protein not just in meat, but in the nuts and other vegetables. He avoids things and learns how his body reacts to certain foods. So just how you feel, and by inspiration through prayer, you can see what your body needs. One thing for sure they've learned is these man-made foods, these processed foods, aren't good for you. The Mountain Dew, the Coca-Cola, the soft drinks literally take out of your body the strength and the good that is in your muscles and bones. And you must beware. To drink these things and eat these things to excess will harm you. You have your health. You're strong, you're young. Think about this gift of your body and take care of it properly. And in the midst of that, the Spirit of God will only be with you if you're also obedient in all other things. Don't think your body is the thing you only worry about. It's your obedience to priesthood that earns you revelation. Hope I put this in the right light. Many people make it their religion, and they forget the greater laws of loving God and loving one another. Do those greater things first, and you'll find yourself wanting to take care of your body, so you'll be a blessing to this priesthood. You want your health and strength. Please turn the tape over for the next lesson now. Thank you.